Hello everyone, I'm the 4th and Psychic Gamers, and today I've got some information that's possibly giving away a little bit about potential Black Ops 2 Zombies DLC. Now this information was actually sent to me by a subscriber, which I appreciate a lot. Over the next year, a lot of my content is going to be Black Ops 2 news. That's what I've done on my channel in the past, and it seems to be pretty popular, so any news that you guys find before me, make sure to send it in and I'll be very grateful, and I will of course make a video out of it. Now this actually came out a few days ago, but I just wanted to look through it all first before I started talking about it. Seems like somebody's made a PC tool and it spits out all of the strings kept in memory, so all of the text that's used in game. A lot of this text seems to be completely unused. In fact, a lot of it is Black Ops 1 related, and it seems that they copied a lot of it over and didn't remove it. However, some of it seems to suggest new Black Ops 2 Zombies modes, maps, and just general features that aren't in the game yet, so can be assumed to be DLC, whether free or premium, coming later on. Now if we take a look through this, and I will put links in the description to both the thread where this was posted and to the full unedited string list, so you can take a look at it for yourself. The first thing here, there's proof that the Nav Card will be accepted by the Nav Card reader. Now I always thought it was pretty obvious that there is some way to make the reader accept the Nav Card, but because people haven't done it yet, some people are getting skeptical that it actually does anything. There is a string here that says the Nav Card was accepted successfully, so we know a certain Nav Card will work at some point. Then there is a rather long list of what appears to be maps, but some of these are maps or variations on maps that we haven't seen before. There's a fair few here that have the prefix of cleansed. Now there's a lot of rumour that these cleansed maps are going to be cleaned up versions of the current maps, ones that aren't completely wrecked and covered in fire hopefully. We have cleansed Cornfield, Diner, Farm and Town. Now Farm and Town we already have as maps. It might be interesting to see what they're like if they were a bit fixed up. The Cornfield and the Diner we can't currently play as separate maps, only as part of Transit. So that would be pretty cool if they come out with different sections of Green Run to play in. We also have maps prefixed with meat and race. Now before the game even came out, we heard rumours about a game mode called meat. Wasn't entirely clear what it was going to be, but it seems that there's strings for meat farm, meat town and meat tunnel. Interestingly, the tunnel section again isn't currently available as a separate map, only as part of transit mode. Now we actually have a fair few strings here related to the meat mode, which give away what it could involve. Zombies are attracted to the team with the meat. Stay alive as long as you can by throwing the meat to your opponent's side. Now, for any of you that have played Grief mode, you should be fairly familiar with the meat power-up. Basically gives you a hefty chunk of meat and you throw it either somewhere or at somebody, and it gives off like this green stench, and the zombies chase after it. It's like a monkey bomb, but it lasts a lot longer and it doesn't explode at the end. But if you can chuck it at the enemy team, it does cause them a lot of issues. Now the strings here give away what we might be doing in meat mode, and it seems that you're going to be able to pick up the meat and then get rid of it or throw it. I'm not sure why you'd want to get rid of it, but I assume why you want to throw it is throwing it at the enemy, which then causes them a lot of problems with the zombies. There's also a string that says don't feed the zombies, so it seems like you might be able to feed the zombies the meat, but there's nothing else to give any indication of why that would be a benefit to you. Also for race mode, they have a string that says get to the finish line. Obviously race is going to be exactly what it sounds like, and it's just going to be a race. Seems like race is going to be available on Farm, Power and Town. Again we have Power, a section of Green Run that currently isn't available as a separate map. There's also a reference to something called Containment, and it says Nack der Untoten and then in brackets Containment. This could possibly be a new mode. More possible zombie maps: No Man's Land, Turned, Returned and Pitted, as well as a mode called Deadpool. There's also abilities here for zombies, and they look very much like killstreaks for multiplayer. There's artillery, an airstrike, napalm, dogs, RC car, cloak, endurance, helicopter, turret and portal. That could be interesting, using killstreak type weapons to take out the zombies. It would be a little bit like Spec Ops Survival on Modern Warfare 3. It was quite fun calling in support to take out the enemies. There's strings to do with monkeys. It actually says warning, ape re-entry imminent. I mean, what kind of string is that? That's just amazing. Ape re-entry. There's also things to do with the Lunar Lander, so could possibly be following on from Moon. We never found out how they got off the Moon after the Easter egg. Alongside that, there's talk of the PES, which is the spacesuit that you use on Moon. So this could potentially just be old stuff that they didn't use in the original Moon, or it could be a second Moon map coming out. There's an option to buy a minigun off of the wall, presumably. I guess it would function in the same way as the death machine does. There's also talk of a zipline. It costs money to use it, and you have to activate it. It could be like the ziplines on Call of the Dead. Then there seems to be more Perca-Colas, Damage Aid, and Candelier. Now I can assume Damage Aid would be like stopping power and it would give you more bullet damage. And Candelier has surely got to be Bandolier, like the old COD 4 World at War perk that gave you more ammunition. A bit like how Scavenger Pro works in previous games. I think that's pretty much all of the zombie related strings covered. There's also a few that I just want to go through that talk about multiplayer game modes that weren't in the game. RC Car Race, Assassins vs Cowboys, World Domination, Paranoid, Oddball, and Rock Paper Scissors. All very weird sounding game types. Don't think they'd be the sort of ones that you'd see in proper public rotations, but they might have been modes that they would have added in to private match that you could play, and it would be interesting to see if they ever do add these in. Judging by just the names alone, they sound like they could be pretty good. That's all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a rating, comment any of your opinions and questions, and if you want to keep up to date with Black Ops 2 info and you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe. I shall see you next time.